All right, welcome back, guys, to the Intel Extreme Masters Sao Paulo as we get on to now game number 2 between TLO and Bomber. Apologies for the slight delay that we had there, but we want to bring the best quality we possibly can.
And thank you to ESL and Twitch TV for sorting it out. And now we can begin with the games, or continue on with the games. TLO currently, if you didn't already know, is leading 1-0 versus Bomber. And there is Bomber, who's had a good 10 minutes to kind of think over what happened in game number 1 and prepare himself for this next one. And I think it's nice. I mean, a lot of people will say that, yeah, isn't that kind of like, doesn't that favor Bomber a lot that he's able to just sit back for 10-15 minutes and think about things? Well, yeah, but it's the same thing for TLO, right? They both had a 10-15 minute breather to go over things.
Certainly so.
Starts up again.
Frost is our map. And
TLO's choice.
Exactly, TLO's choice. So now he took Bomber's map off him. Now Bomber has to try and take TLO's map. If it goes to match point here for TLO, really big trouble here for Bomber. So he absolutely has to win this map to keep himself really in contention, as we have him spawning up to the top right-hand corner as our red Terran. It's Red Bull Bomber. Down to the bottom left. Great spawning positions for this guy. Spawning in the blue, representing Liquid, it is TLO.
And for some of you, like us, who was looking for Bomber on Twitter earlier, we couldn't find him. Yeah, he's always been StarTel_Bomber. But after leaving StarTel, he actually changed it overnight, I think it was, because he was there yesterday or the day before. Yeah. He's now SC2 Bomber. Kind of like me, because I'm a Paulo SC2, but he's SC2 Bomber, so it's just sort of back and forth. And then, of course, it's always at Liquid TLO here. But now, Frost, TLO's choice of map in this best-of-5 series, where obviously the winner is the first player to get 3 points, 3 maps to their name, TLO with the first one. They've spawned cross positions. This is the best scenario TLO could have hoped for on his map. It's not only just his map choice, but it is the best place to spawn against a Terran player. You're far away, your 4 bases are tucked into this kind of sideways V shape, maybe like a 45-degree angle. It's really nice, yeah, that kind of C-cup shape. Yeah. It's nice and compact. And obviously, the area that the spray damage from Bomber is always just going to come straight through the middle. So it's a lot easier for TLO to kind of keep all his bases intact and be able to handle the pressure that we'll be seeing from Bomber throughout this. And likewise, Bomber, though, realizing that it is such a big map, he has to kind of change things up a little bit, going for the command center first, but TLO's probably anticipating such a move. It would be kind of weird for Bomber to do really much of anything else. On a 4-player map, Bomber has no idea where TLO is spawned, so the 2 builds of choice are going to be macro-focused. It's either going to be a Reaper opening or command center first. These are the 2 most common builds that we see in this matchup. And with the command center first here from Bomber, you're most likely just going to see a super regular playstyle from him, or should I call it a build order. So taking the gas now, just a single gas, he'll be looking to get up the factory, get up the reactor, aim for a 3rd command center, and somewhere along these lines if he wants to play the regular build. But TLO here, I guess one thing you can say that's a little bit of a disadvantage in these positions, it is a little bit harder to find out exactly what Bomber is up to inside the main base. He can predict its command center first or Reaper, but what the follow-up is going to be, that's a little bit harder to spot. And the 2 Overlords, yeah, they just get over there at such a late time that it's very difficult indeed. A few Marines going to be out on the way here for Bomber, just to keep him nice and steady. So I guess he's going to be going straight up to that factory from this point on. As he can try and play out his normal game from there. Because, again, we mentioned that Bomber does like to mix in that 3 racks aggression from time to time, but it only ever really comes once in a series. In a best-of-5, we may see it twice, but I don't anticipate like every game. That would just be insanity. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. Bomber should be looking at 2 Marines and then build the factory and reactor. Pretty much, well, the factory first, then the reactor is the usual. He can get it at the same time, or maybe the reactor first. It's up to him, really. Well, TLO's decided to go for 4 queens into a single extractor. And I'm wondering where the second one is. Unless he's going to go a little bit heavier on queens or for a 3rd base, he should be looking to take the 2nd extractor down. Okay, there it is. And immediately with these Zerglings, that's a pretty fast command center there. That's actually really fast. And so with such a fast command center, there's no bunker, no additional supply depots, and he waited to get the command center before the factory and reactor, which is why it wasn't down exactly on time here. That is a pretty greedy build from Bomber. But TLO has no option to punish this. And this is a good start from Bomber, like really solid. Third command center up earlier means earlier mules, earlier 3 sets of FPVs going to be produced. Really, really good build from Bomber.
Yeah, and then earlier extra barracks going down, and the quicker he can start
just stronger
pushing across.
Overall.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a really cool start here for Bomber here in game number 2. But meanwhile, TLO, he does have 2 creeps, two queens on creep spread duty. So the creep for TLO is normally pretty darn good. In the past, we saw him trying to throw down hatcheries in the middle, walking a queen out there. He's kind of moved back from that kind of style and just has pushed it out very aggressively.
Oh, TLO's going to try and, with the aggression coming, I mean, not with the aggression coming, but with Bomber's build, TLO's going to try and punish it here. He hasn't gone for the evolution chambers. He hasn't gone for a third base. He's thrown down the Bailey Nest, is building a lot of Zerglings here. He's obviously spotted his opponent's greed here, as mentioned, and he's going to try to break it down. The White Hellion's on the way, and there is a Banshee on the way. It isn't going to be easy to make this work, but he's going to attempt it.
It's got to overwhelm, right?
Yeah, like, he's got a surprise. Look, he's got to come around the right-hand side. If he meets the Hellions in the middle of the map, more preparation time, more bunkers can come down. Even a bunker just beginning in the first place because he doesn't even have one.
Yeah.
But Ling's coming around the right-hand side here. TLO's looking to trick him.
Oh, this could actually catch him off guard. Bomber, how is he going to react to this? Right now, he's controlling the middle watchtower. Hasn't really seen too much at all. Those Lings all scurrying around the right-hand side. Not going to be seen for a long time. The Queens are going to have to hold strong against the Hellions, though.
And the Hellions are just going to hug the creep. They don't want to let the Queens spread any more creep here. They're not going to try to be too adventurous. He has really nothing at home because all the Hellions should be just rallied to the other side of the map. If he spawns just outside of the pathway where the Hellions are going, so just by this third base, and morphs the Banelings like that, no bunker, nothing at home.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely has no idea. The Hellions are going to work on one of the Queens. There are some Zerglings there as well, though, to try and help TLO out. But that's a lot of Banelings morphing in.
The Banshee, it sees it. It sees Lings.
Uh-oh.
It sees the Banelings.
Oh, and now he has to come home. He has to try and help out here. Otherwise, those Banelings are going to bust on through, and that's going to leave him very, very vulnerable indeed. He breaks on through.
There's no wall on the high ground either.
Uh-oh, this could be really, really bad. The Lings need to get over there straight away to reinforce here. TLO, Bomber is supply blocked at this point. There's one Banshee on the way, but this is going to be catastrophic for him. He's already lost 11 workers.
He's already lost 11 workers. TLO's getting rid of the reactor to stop the Hellions coming out 2 by 2, and there's a lot more Lings coming. Oh, the Hellions going to be able to hold off, though. As we are seeing, the Lings are starting to disappear.
Yeah, there's a lot of Hellions there. Yes, they are weak, but with that many Hellions providing that much firepower, that's very, very strong. There's still more Lings on the way. The Banshees cutting off some of the reinforcements, denying some of the Banelings from morphing in, and killing some off on the reinforced. That's really, really nice here for Bomber.
Yeah, this is always going to be hard to make work because of the amount of Hellions, but it does break the front wall. But Bomber holds off. 36 SCVs, but 3 sets of mules to 34 drones and the double upgrades. Bomber holds, and Bomber is in a lead after this.
Yeah, I really don't think that there's a whole lot that TLO can continue on with that aggression now. There's just too many Hellions that did not die off, did not get traded away. And now the
no
Banshee.
Spore on the third either, which means he's going to be delayed from landing on the third.
Yeah.
This is a good hold from Bomber there.
All right, and there's still only 3 Queens out here for TLO. One of them did die off to those Hellions, so the creep spread's going to be a little harder to keep going at this point, especially once those Hellions decide that they are comfortable to move out. There are links for the counterattack set up here for TLO, but he has to buy himself a lot of time. Yeah,
this was you know, we talked about the decision-making of TLO in the previous game where he went for the counter and made it work. This decision to try to punish the greed on cross positions, where remember the benefit of cross positions is that Bomber can't get to him as fast. That means TLO can't get over there as fast himself. Maybe it wasn't worth it. Obviously it wasn't worth it, but maybe the decision to try it wasn't the right one here, because now he's going to be faced with a difficult game to make work.
And we have a few more Lings trying to go for the counter-attack whilst the Hellions pressure at the front, but realistically these 2 Banshees, 3 Banshees even, get the hatchery at the third. A few of the Hellions did die off. Some are going to go and try and reinforce the natural.
TLO's just going all in. He's lost his third hatch. He's got Lings over there. He's going to try it to just win the game with this next attack.
And he's actually killing quite a lot of workers here, so not too bad by TLO. 24 have died off in the entirety of this game, but still the worker count is very even. TLO has to do even more damage. In fact, probably kill at this point to actually really hold this game on.
Yeah, he's got a supply lead, but his economy's weak. He's decided to keep going with his drone and actually rebuild the third and start to build the Spire here. But TLO finds himself in a very bad position. The armory's coming in. That means 2-2 can begin, where TLO doesn't even have 1-1 being started. With the centrifugal hooks being researched, no evolution chambers down. TLO is still in the mind frame where he realizes that he is quite far behind in this game, and he's probably just going to go for an all-in anyway, but it'll be like a Mutalist Baneling attempt. He realizes this game is really far out of his reach to be able to hold on. Everything is in favor of Bomber at this point.
Ooh, that was quite nice, actually. The Overseer actually soaked up the Widowmine and got a few SCVs under it, so that was not too bad. But the thing is that TLO has really good map vision. He can spot everything that his opponent's doing right now, whereas Bomber is kind of isolated in the middle of in the corner of his map. But at the same time, can TLO really do anything to capitalize on that? I think it would be very difficult.
Well, if he catches his opponent's army just around the third base with the speed Banelings and the Mulisks, then maybe he can do something here. But it's going to be hard to make work.
The Widowmines, they're not burrowed. They are not burrowed. They don't have drilling claws either. One of them does burrow down. And actually, that Widowmine kind of backfires in the end. It kills off quite a lot, trade for trade, blow for blow, and he's still denying the third base from landing.
Yeah, TLO went a bit early there, obviously without Baneling speed done, but he saw an opportunity to get damage, and he took it. But remember, Bomber can trade off units here. He still has the superior upgrades incoming. As long as he slowly establishes his third, he's still majorly in lead in this game. Even though the supply count is very similar, the upgrade's going to make a massive, massive difference, because every fight that they take, Bomber will lose less supply than TLO will, resulting in the higher supply eventually swinging in favor of Bomber.
And for now, we have only 53 workers against the 61, technically in favor of TLO, but, you know, with triple mules and that third base about to land, it's going to be really nice here for Bomber.
TLO has got a counterattack, and also there's no turret, so if he makes a counterattack on the right-hand side, get into the third base again, and then maybe Mulis go to the main, but he also has to deal with the waves of units coming through the middle of the map.
Yeah, he certainly does. It looks like the Zerglings are going to go to the third, and hasn't been able to properly land and start mining just yet. The Zerglings not doing too badly for themselves, but in the end, Bomber should be able to shoot that away.
Yeah, he just needs to get his third base up and running. Yeah. He doesn't really need to rally over there until that bunker's built, and maybe a mine or two is around his third. That'll prevent any of these counterattacks from working, and then he can start to rally over there. That's when he's going to be at his strongest. But if he doesn't, then TLO will keep counterattacking.
Yeah, I do love the path that TLO's taking for the counterattacks, knowing that he has to keep his opponent away from his door.
And he can't fight heads-on either. He can't fight head-on because of the upgrade difference. He needs to keep counterattacking and hope Bomber keeps on coming back.
Well, he is in a really good spot here to pressure this third. Once again, the bunker's going to end up falling to those Banelings. Zerglings and Mutalists leaving this very vulnerable. At the same time, Bomber is too far out to turn around.
Yeah, so this is really good for TLO. He's broken the third again. And he's got a lot of Lings at home. He can morph a lot of Banelings to deal with the attack that's coming from the south. And if he comes back with his Mutalist, this counterattack heavy style is working out really well. But this is the deadly point for TLO, is these 2-2 upgrades about to complete. This is where things get hard. But if he can get the right Baneling detonations, then does it matter?
But this is a big, big drop into the main. His army is completely out of position to deal with this. He could actually kill off this the entire layer if he's careful about this. There's a lot of Widowmines there as well to reinforce. One of them gets a few connections on the Zerglings. The detonations are not too bad. But in the end, I think he's going to be able to save the layer. He just barely saves it.
There's a lot of things not working out really well for Bomber in this game. His third base can't get mined from. He didn't do it. He didn't kill the layer. Things are working really well for Bomber, they're just not working out.
Yeah, TLO trading blow for blow, but Bomber still has that vast army advantage. The Zerglings and Banelings moving up to the high ground, and he should be able to kill off almost everything. It's a trap! It's a trap! He gets it all, man. He gets it all. Bomber. Wow. And, well, the supply count's not too bad.
TLO needs to keep doing what he's been doing. He needs to counterattack that third again. If he just keeps on fighting heads-on, remember his upgrades still aren't good enough to fight heads-on properly. And he's going to try one here. Does he have enough units, though?
And the Mutalisks not doing too badly for themselves. There's really not that many Widowmines, but a great spread there from Bomber.
That's the upgrades kicking in now, as you can see. The Marines standing strong. TLO needs to counterattack again. But by the looks of it, he's not looking to set that up. His economy's weakened. He doesn't really have many minerals inside his main base. And it looks like from now on, just look at the two armies. One on one side, the other on the other, which means they're just going to have to keep fighting head on. He needs a counter. He needs to keep doing what he was doing earlier. Otherwise, Bomber's going to start to steamroll.
Yeah, no missile turrets at that third base, so he can try and pressure it for just a little bit until those Widowmines end up burrowing. And once again, Bomber's main army is way too far away, but the rallied reinforcements are enough for him to deal with it.
This left-hand side is really weak. Yeah. Really weak for TLO. Creep spread isn't the best. Looks like Bomber's not going to pursue it. He's going to swing back round again.
Felt the Overlord vision gave him too much of an opportunity to react, I guess.
Carapace upgrade's going to kick in for TLO, and he's getting closer to equalizing the upgrades, but he's not equalizing the economy. He needs that fourth up and running, which he's trying to focus on. now just, again, heads-up fights. This is where Bomber's going to win over in efficiency.
Interestingly enough, the Overseer, there's an Overseer fleet looking to move in, I guess, and contaminate all the buildings.
Yeah, I guess. Like,
yeah.
Why not?
Guess so. It's all right, but at the same time, can he deal with this? Because that's a huge, huge bio army. The Zerglings flood on forwards. The Banelings don't get the connections that they want at all. They all hit a lot of Marauders at the front. And Bomber splits behind this were fantastic, so he retains a lot of his army.
Yeah, we can say that Bomber's been in a lead for the majority of the TLO. Did very well to start to crawl back into this. He did slow down the production of Bomber a little bit inside, but as you can see, the creep spread is starting to disappear here, and Bomber's edging closer and closer to victory, which is destroying that third base.
And those Banelings now, they try and roll past the Marauders to get some Marines where they can, but even that is difficult in itself with reinforcements. There you go, GG. Bomber ties up the series 1-1.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Great hold initially from Bomber, which put him at an advantageous position. Fantastic play from TLO to start to crawl back into the game, but eventually Bomber was able to stabilize and edge out on his advantage that TLO gave him in the earlier stages, we could say. Well, not really gave him what Bomber earned himself, but either way, one apiece.
I would have loved to have seen TLO go for the macro in that game, because on Frost against MMA at the very end of last year, he looked really, really good, really strong.
Yeah.
And I think that if TLO had maybe played that into the macro, you know, he saw an opportunity in this game that didn't really properly present itself.
But I mean, yes, he can kick himself a little bit by trying to do that.
Yeah.
But also, I think a good mentality to have is be confident in the decisions you make. And be like, yeah, I still believe I could have done that and could win more often than not if I keep doing that. That's how to have a good mentality in StarCraft. If you say to yourself that shouldn't have done that, that was really bad, then sometimes you let it overcome you, and that will really put you in a bad mindset coming into the next game.
Yeah.
But Bomber there, he's always been very good at holding off against aggression. Has always had fantastic control, the ability to deflect it, even if he scouts it very, very late.
I would say in general, you know, he just has good Hellion control. Whenever you give Hellions to a player like Bomber, oftentimes they're going to get pretty good trades, unless they stray onto creep, like a few did during that game. But when they weren't, they did really, really well there for Bomber.
And now, they've won each other's map. TLO won Bombers, Bomber won TLO's, and now we're going over to Bomber's choice again. This is Habitation Station, and this is the map that Bomber really made famous, I'd like to say, because of the Red Bull Battlegrounds that he played in towards the end of last year, because of the series that he played against Scarlet. Everybody knew this map, and this is the map that we're going on to. He's got a lot of experience playing on it, and TLO as well, because of course it is introduced into the ladder rotation, which TLO will play in and day out. And the series is now tied up.
I think it's also important to note that if we ever were to see Bomber go for mech in this matchup, it would be the strangest thing ever. I can't remember a time that he's... Exactly. He always goes for this big bio parade push with the Widow Mines. He has so much confidence in this play that he executes it. The parade push, I mean, maybe like there's innovation out there that does it really well as well, but Bomber just... He epitomizes this style. He executes it so well. Yeah,
he's never been a player that likes to play mech. If it was to happen, I'd be very surprised. I would definitely be surprised. It is not out of the world that there is a chance. There is a chance he does it, but it is very, very slim.
Yeah, it would be to, in the end, in something like a best of 5, it would be like try and, you know, put his opponent on tilt a little bit. So like, wait a minute, mech? You really? What?
There's no need. There's no need at all to try that.
All right, well, we're loading up now. Habitation Station for game number 3 here. 1-1 apiece in this best of 5. Let's jump right on in. I am excited for this, as we have now spawning up to the top right-hand corner, our Red Terran. Representing Red Bull, it's Bomber. And up to the top left, we have our Liquid Zerg. Representing Germany as well, it's TLO.
Did you know that neither of these players have ever played against each other in a tournament circuit before, which I find fascinating considering both of them have been playing the game since the very beginning.
Yeah.
And Bomber in all time, including Wings of Liberty, with a solid 62 win weight against Zerg. That's pretty good. 62. TLO, on the other hand, I guess is a little bit skewed because he's played against other races, but overall against Terran, 57. 5% against Terran players. It is skewed because, of course, throughout his entire career, he has played multiple races. It's not really indicative of his Zerg versus Terran.
Yep.
But Habitation Station, some of the features here is more so than on almost other maps, I suppose. You cannot let Bomber take a 4th.
Yes.
If he gets a 4th up and running with a gold base, which we have in the center here, it's going to be so difficult because not only is it a gold base, which gives you more income, it's also expanding towards the middle of the map. And with a planetary fortress, it's almost a reinforcement point.
Yeah.
He can control the Zelnaga tower. He then would be even further onto TLO's side. And from this, yeah, it's really hard. So TLO definitely is actually changing it up. Look at this.
Whoa.
He's got spawning pool first on 14 supply here. I was going to say, he might change it up to normal, but he's looking at punish command center first.
Yeah.
This is really, really risky because if it was a Reaper expansion, then this wouldn't work as well. Even though it's not terrible, it's not like this doesn't, it flat out fails against Reaper Expand. He wouldn't get damage done versus Reaper Expand. But for example, Zerg players like Tefl and even some others still go Swan and Pull first anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not terrible for your economy, but it's safer. So on this map, if it was Reaper Expand, TLO is safer because Queens are out earlier, which means you don't really even need Zerglings. But if it's Command Center first, the other build which Bomber could use, he can build 6 Zerglings.
Yeah.
He can get over the map, cancel the Command Center, and really be really aggressive.
And one of the big things here is that Bomber's barracks placement isn't in any position to like present a wall. Of course, he could fly it away to make one, but this is going to give TLO a good opportunity to be really annoying, and he takes a gold
He's taking a gold base to increase his income. He's also taking an extractor. So what he'll probably do now is get over the other side of the map, build a lot of Zerglings, get into gas, get Zergling speed, and probably go for, I'd like to say, an old style that was made famous by Snoot on the map Antigua Shipyard, where he mines quite a bit from the gold base, but is very aggressive with a forward hatchery.
Yeah.
It goes for like a Baneling bust to follow this up. A small little tickle aggression into drone up a little bit more, into kill. I think that's his strategy here.
I just love it in general as well, like taking a gold base. What could Bomber do whilst he's always being pressured to deny the mining of a gold base or anything? It's very difficult. He gets one worker already, and now this is a big problem here for Bomber. Yep. Bomber has to use his SCVs and strong micro.
And if he's using his SCVs, forget about strong micro, but using SCVs, he's not mining, therefore he's been slowed down to get to Hellions and stuff that he needs to defend against a potential follow-up of Banelings or Hellions, whichever way TLO wants to go for this.
Well, Bunker's going to get thrown down here for a second as Bomber, but nicely, well, there we go.
Okay, it's Roaches, not Banelings here.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still very, very strong, especially since he's delaying Bomber for a little bit whilst using these
And there's no reactor from the barracks, which means the Hellions won't come out 2 by 2. Everything seems to be going well here for TLO. The reactor's going to come in.
Oh, I thought maybe he was going to try and block it with one of the Zerglings there, but
great micro from Bomber. Great micro keeping the Marine alive.
Very well done. Only 2 workers have gone down so far. The Marine will end up falling eventually in trade for these Zerglings. It doesn't get the second one.
All right, so he's going to be able to build about, I think, like 6 to 8 Roaches here. And then behind it, okay. Yeah, 6 to 8 Roaches here. He may decide to drone behind this, but with such a heavy commitment, I really think he's just going to go for it here.
6 Roaches in production against what? Like, if he switches over that factory very quickly, with the barracks, he's only going to have maybe 2 extra Marines out with that first one as well, so that's not many units here to be able to deal with this.
And he's going to drone behind it. Okay, so he's going to drone behind it. So 9 Roaches, roughly 6 to 8. 9's close. And now he's going to get over there, and he's going to try and do as much damage as possible while droning up, and then we'll take a 3rd base here, most likely. He's still mining gas because he'll want to get to Zergling speed, I'd imagine. But we'll see if this is possible to defend against.
He's going for a tech lab on the factory. He's not actually going to switch them over.
Well, he's going to go for a tank, obviously, here. Yeah. But it's going to be quite a long time before the tank comes out into play. Bomber has no idea what's going on in this game. He hasn't scouted anything. He has no idea. He's got 1 Marine on the low ground, which gives him a few extra seconds to repair the bunker. But it's all about how many SCVs die before that tank gets out, because the tank is the ultimate defense here.
And those Roaches do show themselves now. How quickly is he going to be able to get up and repair all of this? Big question. He actually lowers the supply depot so he can try and wrap around with the SCVs to get full repair on that bunker.
But the supply depots are down.
Exactly, he could just walk past it.
Yeah. But his goal here is to kill all the SCVs, because he is going to continue on with this, I imagine, is a regular play.
10 workers gone down. Those Roaches just do not die off quickly enough here. And it's 24 workers to 32 in the grand scheme of things. He just waltzes on by. Why not?
He's building 2 more roaches. If he overcommits to aggression, if a tank comes out, he won't really make it work. And now spotting the tank absolutely needs to focus on getting rid of the tank and going back to drones.
Oh, and all the SCVs were way out of position to get to the tank. He can't repair it during all of this. The roaches, yes, they will end up dying, but they've killed off 18 workers.
Yeah, 18 workers and some more to go down inside the main base. From this position, TLO's actually going up to all 4 gases. He's playing so on the fly.
Yeah.
He's not really, he doesn't really have a solid plan here. He's adapting to everything that he sees and is basically saying, okay, this is probably the best thing I could do from this point. Because standardized, he should have been looking towards take a 3rd base, but he's playing so creative at the moment and just kind of adapting around the scenarios of what's been presented. And with roaches being built and a 1 evolution chamber, no layer, is he just going to go for like another big attack with Roach Baneling here? Is he going up to layer in a second? I don't know anymore.
Well, he's going to get heavily supply blocked. These Marines caught some of the Overlords on a bad rally point as those Roaches were rallied over there as well. So that's a nice pickup for Bomber to bring himself back on forwards and 1 step into this game. And now TLO, he's going to have to, you know, spending like 300, 400 minerals on extra Overlords at this point is a big deal.
Yeah, I can see what he's doing now, though, finally.
Yeah?
Finally.
Yeah.
All right, so as he clears up these Marines now, he knows that Bomber's hurt. He's down bleeding. He's a lot of loss of SCVs. He's very defensive with a tank. The one thing TLO's got to be careful of is a movement out with Marines and tanks, which could catch him while he's on the way towards the Spire. With all 4 gases taken, he's going to... I don't think going for the upgrades immediately is the best. What? Then again, I say Spire, but he goes for Roach upgrades.
What
God damn it, TLO. I can't pick up what he's trying to do here at all. But now it's quite evident what's happening.
I think, you know, your call of Spire after seeing that there was siege tank production so quickly kind of made sense, right? Like, to catch out those if they were going to try.
That's what I thought it was going to be because of siege tanks, but he's going over to a Roach Hydra play by the looks of it.
Oh, TLO.
Oh, TLO. And Borrow being researched as well. But still, he's still on the way towards a higher tech here, and there is an opportunity, obviously. If Bomber had an army moving across the map right now, TLO would be in a little bit of trouble, but Stim isn't ready yet. Bomber will want to wait for Stim, which is 50 seconds, ideally medivacs, maybe even combat shields and upgrades. So that opportunity for Bomber can't be used, unfortunately, which is allowing TLO to go up to a good drone count, and now he's getting all his upgrades aligned. Roach speed, Borrow, 1-1 upgrades, Overlord speed as well.
I think the best timing for me looking at this, I mean, with the 1-1 quite far behind at this point, is if TLO aggressively got to 2-2 and tried to make that happen. I think that would be very nice for him. Do you really think, like, does he go with all of these? Does he go with 1-1 on Burrow? I mean...
Yeah, by the looks of it, yeah. That's what he seems to be aiming for. I've got to stop trying to guess what TLO's doing because he always surprises me. But yeah, I mean, if he starts to build up a massive Roach count now, Bomber's going to move out soon, whether it's to be a take a 3rd base or to be aggressive. If TLO is prepared for that, whatever movement out it is, with a large Roach Hydra eventually army, then yeah, he'd crush. He would absolutely crush.
Look
at the supply difference.
Right now, army supply 62 to 37 in favor of TLO, and he's up to 20 Roaches, 20 Marines out, but he's adding on a lot more. And he's getting tunneling claws as well here for the Roaches. Jeez, TLO.
Well, as long as he doesn't get slowed down by this drop, this isn't really affecting him at all. Yeah. And it looks like Bomber's kind of identified what's going on as well. So by seeing all these Roaches, by seeing the Hydra down on the natural, he's going to want to really continue up tank production, I'd imagine. He's starting another one. And all the game becomes now for Bomber is defense. Because he now knows that this is going to be the playstyle from TLO, where he will want to take a fight, where the Bomber moves out to be aggressive or take a 3rd. He needs bunkers, which he's making. If he defends against the onslaught and takes it to the late game, Roach Hydra becomes really freaking weak.
Yep,
and that's what he's going to hope for.
And also the double block over here for TLO to make sure that that expansion can't land quickly enough.
Yeah, that's nice.
And he realizes his opponent's trying to take that location anyway, so he moves down to delay even further with his main bulk of his army. This is a really lovely move here by TLO.
Yeah, he's got to prevent this 3rd from going down. If we see Bomber start to stabilize on 3 bases, he'll take it to the late game. But for now, that's not going to be possible. It's going to have to be a slow tank push down, and that will give TLO the opportunity to climb up in supply and maybe take a 200 supply fight as soon as Bomber is set up on 3 bases, but before he actually mines from it. I think that's the goal for TLO here.
And these Marines, they have to be careful about where they tread, because that is a lot of Roaches that actually are going to push forwards here with the concave. There's quite a few Marines as well as those siege tanks. He actually burrows. He's going to spring up right under those, and he can try and bring down some of those siege tanks as well. TLO's actually going to go for this. He's taking a lot of damage from those siege tanks, but there's not a whole lot of firepower left over here for Bomber. With the reinforcements as well, TLO is looking to capitalize.
Yeah, this is a beautiful play here, keeping his opponent away from that 3rd base. And now with 4 bases pretty much up for TLO, he can go over there. Bomber scans and sees if there are any border roaches. But, you know, turrets are going to have to be a consideration here as well.
Yeah. And look at the creep spread from TLO, man.
No, it's great. He's leading this game quite convincingly, and Bomber is finding this difficult.
And all these Marines get traded away very quickly. There's only 3 medevacs to try and heal those up. He actually burrows some of those roaches forwards to pick off 1 or 2 of the siege tanks. How many is he going to end up getting? He gets 1. The reinforcements coming along as well. There's really not that much army left over here for Bomber. Those 2 siege tanks on the high ground are doing great work, and they will hold this on for now.
Yeah, he will hold this on for now, and the goal is to keep Bomber away from the 3rd base, as I mentioned before, and he keeps on doing it. And that means that TLO, who's sufficiently on 70 drones in a great 4-base setup, has double the income almost, I'd say, at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, double the income.
All the mules get dropped at that 3rd, though. That might rock it up in a little bit. Got to be careful about that here. TLO, he's just going to reinforce as aggressively as he possibly can do. He's going up to Hive as well, and +2 weapons is just about to finish. So this 2-2, if he actually hits with it before the upgrades line up here for Bomber, that could work out.
Yeah, this is that's the next fight he takes. Bomber has to take a 3rd. His main's running out.
Yeah.
He has to take a 3rd, but TLO's going to go in once again.
And the missile turret is still not up, but he still does have some detection there, and now he actually comes in from a lot of angles, killing off a lot of those Marines. The 2 siege tanks on the high ground that have caused him a lot of problems. One of them will end up falling, as will the second one if he's able to bring a few more units up there. But the Roaches and Hydralists are powering on through with the 2-2. GG! TLO takes a 2-1 lead against Red Bull's Bomber.
Who 4-0'd Jadong at the Season 2 finals when he won it.
Wow. Wow.
TLO bringing out some performances here today. We even have a lot of Brazilians out there supporting him.
He could make top 4 quite easily, and then look to this is a great start to 2014 here for TLO.
Yeah,
really nice.
TLO's had such an interesting career. You know, a great start in 2010. Started to get weaker when it came to results in 2011. 2012, towards the end of it, was when he started to climb back up again. 2013 was the rise, really, where he was getting results back. The 5th place in the 1st season of the Europe Premier League. A round of 8 at DreamHack Summer, and that 3rd place finish at Home Story Cup. And 2014, he's looking at a top 4 already.
Yeah. And trust me, guys, there's absolutely no coincidence whatsoever as to why our overlay is currently there while showing Mr. TLO and Bomber currently. So do go vote for your Sick Nerd Baller for Intel Extreme Master Sao Paulo, as the 4th map here will be Heavy Rain. See if TLO, he's on match point now. He is on match point. He could beat Bomber.
Not only match point, but again, they've traded each other's maps.
Yeah.
TLO just won on his opponent's map choice. And now this is back on TLO's map choice, so...
Whoa, and all right, hold the phone, guys. Bomber says AC off, please. So, lucky man in his box of cold.
Yeah, because it's like hell over here under these lights in this Sao Paulo weather. And Bomber now needs to bring out something special here to be able to beat TLO 2 games in a row, because TLO's looking like he could move on. Bomber, coming into this, is the favorite, remember.
Yeah. This is really good stuff from the German. As TLO now, you said before, quietly confident in himself. He's like, nah, I'm probably going to make this happen.
Yeah, quietly confident in himself. Was thinking, I mean, he's last night at dinner, he was in a great mood to play Bomber today. Went for a bit of a swim this morning. Said he was feeling great after a swim and some good breakfast, and he was ready to play the games. And as you can see, that's given him a 2-1 lead so far. Now he just needs to close it up. Doesn't want to get too overconfident. We saw smiles break through on his face. Doesn't want to let it, doesn't want to already be thinking about that semi-final finish. Doesn't want to be thinking about CJ Hero, who's waiting for him next. He just needs to concentrate on Heavy Rain, and he might be able to eliminate Bomber, who was the semi-finalist from BlizzCon at the end of last year. But now we're going to have to see some wings come out from Bomber. So have some special play.
He's going to have to fly. He is absolutely going to have to. The thing is that, you know, TLO, again, we said it before, he had a great 2013 start. He's going to have, by the looks of things, a good start to 2014, but can he keep that consistent if this is to occur? TLO, he's had those points where he has fallen off, but looking really good here, really reading into this series nicely and executing brilliantly. Yeah,
it's been a really good series, back and forth. TLO's taken very calculated risks. For example, the game 1 where he was doing the counter-attack, perfectly calculated, was a risk, but worked. Game 2 was a risk, didn't work. Game 3 was a risk again, and it did work.
All right, well, now into game number 4, as we have our German leading. But this guy has to bring it back here, currently 1 game down. Representing Red Bull, it's Bomber. And down to the south, we have our blue Zerg. 1 game away from advancing on to the round of 4 to play against CJ Hero. It's Liquid TLO.
All right, so how is TLO going to approach playing this map? How is Bomber going to approach it? Reaper expands, quite common here because of the availability to be able to jump inside the main base, to be able to get lots of scouting information, perhaps tickle the drone line.
Sorry, I'm just, never mind.
Yeah, you wave that mouse.
I was having a lot of fun with the drones. It's nice. Doing all the observing here. We don't have our dedicated observer, but I'm plenty used to observing after doing some WCS, etc.
Pretty good.
It's been a lot of fun, actually. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been pretty good. So barracks first here. Looks like we will be seeing a... I was going to say we're seeing a refinery come down, but Bomber's gone back to his build that he opened up the series with. Which is 1 barracks into command center. This is an older build that we don't see too often.
I'm so surprised we haven't seen a single Reaper. Like, where are they?
Yeah.
Where are the Reapers?
Doesn't want to use them.
No. It's interesting here from Bomber. And, you know, heavy rain. There's a ton of room for Reapers to jump around, but seemingly he just wants to play this out a little bit more macro-focused.
Yeah, he might play a Hellion Banshee style. This is one of the most common follow-ups and one of the main reasons to go barracks command center like this, unless he has something planned here. But on heavy rain, it's difficult to have something planned without TLO spotting it. TLO is actively looking to see if there is any 2 barracks here. Even checking inside his main base to see if there's a barracks or anything inside there. So he's playing this out very cautiously, expecting Bomber to try and get an easy game number 4 and take it to game number 5. But it is just a 1 barracks command center. I would be imagining double gas being taken at the same time here, but we'll see what he's got planned.
We shall. The Overlord here already spots the command center timing, so he knows what he's going to be up against with without really seeing the barracks and everything, but wants to make sure he's protected against that Marine. And aside from that, TLO, are you going to do something risky, my friend?
Well, so far not, as he's just going to open up very standard. Queen production, no gas taken any time early. You'll be looking to take double gases around the 5-minute mark, sometimes just before, sometimes a little bit later if you want to delay it to have an extra wave of drones. But we have the barracks now floating down to start to create a wall off, and it looks like that Bomber's identifying a little bit here that his opponent, obviously playing rather aggressive in this series. The barracks does help the wall off. But we have a 3rd command center coming in here for Bomber. And he is going to try to get this Overlords.
As soon as I saw it flying over there, I was like, well, just leave it up, man. Just kill off the Overlord, be done with it. But there you go. There's that 3rd command center as well. So good play there by Bomber.
Hasn't been spotted, so TLO is in the dark to this 3rd command center play. That's
really the danger of just a small lip against a Terran player.
And this is quite a greedy build from Bomber. This is rather greedy indeed. If TLO was aggressive like he was or has been in the previous games, then I mean, this would be a great scenario. 3rd command center coming down. He's got a delayed factory. He's got no Hellions, Banshees to deal with it. He's building a wall off here with barracks. Very strong here.
Yeah.
Wall off with barracks.
He's very mindful of aggression here in this game. He's like, I am going to macro, and I am going to be super safe, and there's nothing you can do, so go away.
Yeah, and Tech on the outside is obviously always risky. Could get sniped off here, but with the 3 barracks coming in, TLO will spot this, and we'll say, all right, well, if I had plans for aggression, not anymore.
Yeah. Tickling away at the tech lab, but not a whole lot he can do against that.
I mean, potentially, he could still be aggressive. I mean, if he got a Roach Warren, he could actually snipe the tech lab. That is a weakness.
Exactly, yeah. The Roaches, you can't really do it with Lings or Banelings, right?
No,
it's
it has to
impossible.
be Roaches.
Yeah,
but I mean, are you going to really change your entire strategy around just sniping the tech lab?
I think TLO in this game, he's got a game in hand, super greed. Well, like, why not give it a go at this point? With you seeing your opponent with that huge wall off at the front, clearly very defensively focused.
Yeah. he knows he doesn't have to face off against Hellions and Banshees with three barracks down so early, so I'd probably imagine just regular play, so that would involve the double evolution chamber coming down. There is a single evolution chamber and a Baneling nest here, so he is playing it kind of cautiously in case there was, again, a movement out with combat shields with the 3 barracks down there.
And this SCV is trying to sneak on in. He sees the layer morphing in. And aside from that, there's a little bit of indication as to what gas is going on, but the Baneling nest is already on the way. This SCV has done all right for itself, gotta say.
Managed to stay alive there. Quite a few Zerglings being made. A drone? All right. Tag that thing.
Get him.
Carapace upgrade coming in here for TLO. Still got quite a few Lings out. Interested to see where he's going to go from here. The layer has begun. He's mining off 4 gases. And Overlord speed going to be researched. A couple of Banelings. He is playing this very safe, very defensively.
Yeah.
Whereas Bomber on the other side of things, very set up defensively himself with the barracks. He's got this factory now about to finish, and we'll be looking towards going up towards the medivacs and also double engineering base. So very macro focused by both players, and a little bit of defense on either side as well.
I do like that TLO got a few Banelings though, right? Because, I mean, behind that wall of barracks, there might not have been a 3rd command center. There might have been a ton more barracks for some reason, and he was just going for huge amounts of Marines. So, you know, he has to play it very carefully whilst he tries to get confirmation as to exactly what's going on.
Look at that, that's pretty cool to see. Tanks, don't see tanks too often. And we're not going to have a tank Marine style coming out from Bomber, an older style. And it looks like he's skipping Widow Mines. But the thing is, I've said that before, and I've played that style before, and I say, all right, tank Marine. But what we do see from some Terran players is build 2 tanks or something. It stops a lot of mid-game all-ins, and then switches over to Widow Mines anyway. Yeah. That might be something we see.
Well, the 3rd base is trying to be taken now, and there is an Overlord there that has been stimmed up against and will get pushed away. But Overlord speed actually being there means he can probably get away with that Overlord, so very nice.
TLO does have a few Lings repping around here. There's a tank and Marines. It's not going to get any damage done here.
Yeah, those poor Lings didn't realize that there was a tank there. Whoa, hello. That's ambitious.
Yeah.
All right, well, they're going to stick around for now and run away. There was no way that was going to happen.
Let's have a look at what TLO is going to do with his gas. Starts the second attack up, well, first attack upgrade, second upgrade overall. The Spine's about to finish. And overall, just a very regular game from both sides here. As Bomber sets up he's playing this. If we were to see a big attack, and then they're actually kind of common on this map, Heavy Rain, because of the wideness of that 3rd base.
Yeah.
You do have a lot of surface area to come in for attacks.
You're right, it's huge. And
tanks on the high ground, perfect against those.
Yeah, we see a lot of that from, you know, Zergs against Protosses. They try and go in from all angles whilst that 3rd's being taken.
Yeah.
Same can apply here, as that medevac is going to head down to the left-hand side.
Perfectly timed with 1-1 and combat shields as well, by the way.
Wow, yeah. Not the most amazing creep spread down there to be able to spot that really fully in time, but he's, you know, he's reacting well against it. The medevac's going to have to be running away because of those mutas.
And now he's like, oh god. And he will want to boost all the way back. He may have to evacuate. I'm not sure TLO has enough ground units to actually pick them all off. Especially with some reinforcements coming to help out, it should be fine.
And the rocks as well, always helps out.
Oh, gets a Mulus as well. Nice win there by Bomber.
Yeah.
And at this stage, 100 gas isn't, you don't really spare 100 gas like that. That's 4 Banelings. That's, you know, a Mulus.
Yeah.
Funny that, hey?
Oh, wow, what a coincidence. Well, now TLO, though, he's spreading his creep so aggressively up this top right-hand side. So really nicely done. It's going to provide him great mobility, but, you know, Bomber knows that there's going to be potential counterattacks from that side anyway. That's why he's placed down these supply depots as you know, sandbag leverage.
Yeah, TLO really needs to focus on his creep spread on the left-hand side. It's a little bit weaker than the right, as we can see. Yeah. And he's going to need to take the 4th base down there, I'd imagine. So, and that's going to be an area where we're going to see the waypoints of Bomber most likely be down the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. He won't really want to waypoint towards the... Well, actually, sorry. I don't know what I was on about there. I thought that there's a 4th base was going to be down the bottom left. There's already 4 bases established up. So TLO...
You mean the 5th, right?
Yeah, I mean, the 4 bases are already up and running for TLO.
Okay.
And he's protecting his 4th base with all that creep spread. So Bomber will actually be wanting to waypoint on the right-hand side, not the left, excuse me. And that's great creep spread to actually protect it. Very defensive mindset here from TLO. And usually the goal of a Zerg player, get 30 Mutalisks, baby. And really climb up. He's at 15, and he needs to keep climbing up and up and up. And this is the stage where Bomber's going to be really aggressive because his upgrades are going to start kicking in. Has he got +2 armor? My observer PC died. Oh, he only just started it.
Yeah, he's only just started
That's late.
There's only one missile turret in this mineral line as well, so this is a really big problem here for Bomber. Our entire army is way out of position. Yes, the reinforcements can rally back there.
Bomber's coming back with his units.
Oh, the Zerglings have drawn him back as well. There's a few Banelings in that mixture, but just regardless, those Mutalisks having a field time.
Armor.
Oh, dear me. Needs to repair, and he does get it in the end. Phew.
But great move there from TLO, bringing Bomber back.
But this sensor tower, just in general, yes, it's protection from the front, but it never gives an indication of those.
The one weak point of TLO, below his thirds. No creep spread, rocks haven't been destroyed, tanks can siege up underneath it, marines can spread out on the non-creep, and he's identified that may be something he forgot to think about here. 4 spines coming in. All great Mutalist control, by the way, so you almost killed that tank. That would have been great. Oh, he's going to go on the right-hand side. Oh. Nice.
Okay, gets
2 Mutalists, though.
That's quite expensive. Bomber is now almost maxed out, and he's looking to pressure on. There is one Widowmine there, as well as a second one that can reinforce that one siege tank that's there, but it's pure Marine. Very, very heavy on Marines. How well is this going to work out? The Banelings and Zerglings do not want to stray on forwards just yet.
Oh, TLO's coming in from the left and the right.
Nice flanks. Will it work out? Those Banelings trying to connect with those Marines at the back, and there's so much firepower here from Bomber.
Yeah, this position, TLO just completely forgot about it. Bomber just says, all right, through the middle we go.
In plain sight, and okay, so those Banelings will shoo him away. But right now, army supplies 99 to 53. Bomber's macro, when he got those third base up and running, has been impeccable. Yeah, but a couple of mistake overlords there from TLO. But remember, TLO's economy hasn't been touched. He's still got a fantastic economy. He can still continue to build up. But Bomber, this is his area, 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah. He said that at the start of the game. This is where he wins all his games. And he's going to continue to stretch forward here. Oh, good detonations there. Oh, actually catches 2 of those Widowmines at the very front, but there's still quite a few left. He needs to get really good Bailey connections. Oh, and he's got to be so careful. Those Banelings are so close to those Marines. Oh, there's the Overseers. I was going to say, where were they? Yeah, needs to be so careful about how he controls this. The Spine's helping out quite a bit. Banelings still so close to the Marines and the Widowmines. Those Banelings didn't do anything. They did nothing. This is really hard now for TLO. He only really has Mutalisks to hold this off, and those Marines are now just pushing on forwards with the 2-2 having finished up. This base is going to fall, but the economy for TLO is still not too bad behind this. Well, he's lost his third now. He's been cracked here. So tough. He's going to get dropped inside the main base. He can get dropped on the right-hand side now. TLO's defense needed to stand strong on the high ground. Otherwise, Bomber was going to start to walk away with this. Yeah, the 2-2 helping him out so much. The Mutalisks do fly in, and they're going to be able to bring down all of those medevacs whilst the Marines get cleaned up as well. But meanwhile, over on the right-hand side, Bomber is not letting TLO breathe. No, he's not. And this is the start of the end of this game, I think, for TLO. He's going to try and hold on as long as he can. But remember, the 3-3 upgrades are on the way as well. And if he picks off this, actually, his economy is going to be even worse. But TLO does come in last minute to save it. And I have to just, credit Bomber from spotting a weakness. I guess you can see on the other side of things that TLO not identifying that weakness is straight through the middle. Yeah. He just didn't have creep spread there. It was the avenue in plain sight, and Bomber said, well, okay then, I'll just go that way. Bomber is absolutely relentless here. There's really not a whole lot he can do. Those Banelings, once again, really need connections, but every single one gets focused down by Marauders before they even connect with the Marines, and that base is long done for. Forward Banelings, but a little late for that, I suppose. Yeah. Still trying to hold on as strong as he can, but +3 attack is completed. And the 4th base down now, TLO just crippled with his economy. And Bomber is still good to go for another couple of minutes before he needs that 4. Still a lot of Mutalisks, 17 in total, but these 2-2 Marines doing all right for themselves. Not too much longevity in them, actually. They're almost stimped to death, but they provide so much firepower that nothing can actually reach them before they even take damage. So TLO now completely on the ropes. Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, this game's over. This is almost impossible to play from. He's about to... Bomber's saying, all right, I've pretty much killed him off. Bomber knows this is a win. He knows it's a win. So he's going to come over with all his army, make sure that he gets that 4th base down, and then just continue on. Big army supply advantage. Those Banelings, again, hitting Marauders. A few get burrowed during all of that engagement, so maybe they can help it out. There is one there as well, but he drops the scan, realizing that they are a threat. Very, very observant here is Bomber as he pushes through and clears up a bit of that creep as well. And the onslaught continues on, +3 armor about to complete as well, so it's 3-3 versus 2-2. And TLO realizes that if that 4th on the left-hand side gets mining, it's game over. He's trying to counter-attack it.
But again, even if that doesn't work, how is he going to face off against this fight?
Bailey's crashing from the back, but still Marauders so cut up.
Mines.
Yeah, this is a bit out of hand now. Look, he almost has 16 mines in this composition. I think he actually does have 16 with one burrowed up to the north, but this is just such a strong army here from Bomber, even without... Oh, okay, so 3-3 did finish up during all of this.
3-3's done. He's got a fourth base up and running.
Yeah. Very impressive stuff here by Bomber if he's allowed to macro. Do you think in game number 5, like, we'll see TLO revert back to some kind of aggressive style?
Whoa, it's Altazine, remember.
Oh, that's true. Oh, wow.
All right, big drop here from Bomber. This could work well for TLO.
Could do if those Banelings connect. All the Widow Mines end up burrowing, and actually he did... What the?
Bomber, what are you doing?
Oh my god!
What are you doing? I was like, why are you... I don't even know why he's trying to drop. I didn't even know why he was trying to do it in the first place. You should be just kind of going through the middle like he was doing.
What?
Like I said, that this could work really well for TLO.
Counter, go for the counter right now.
The high Bomber.
Oh my.
He's obviously, he's still in a bit of a lead here, but what a gift.
Yeah.
What was that?
I mean, the Banelings, the Widow Mines, everything did huge splash damage to all of the bio, all of the Medivacs as well.
What was that? And there's one main reason why you should never leave a game early, which TLO didn't do.
Yeah.
Mistakes like that can happen.
Now, burrowed Banelings could give him a good opportunity here.
I mean, TLO's back up on 4 bases again here, Claris. He's still got a high Mulelist count. He's got burrowed Banelings, or at least he's trying to get back up on 4. He's on 3 for now. But, Jesus, Bomber.
Okay, this is not common, guys, right? This is a bit of an odd situation. Bomber, yes, he's still macroing like a boss. He's still plowing on forwards, and he's going to have a really strong army. But this gives the Mutalisks room to breathe. They're going to be harassing for a long time. Bomber's going to be pinned back for a little bit whilst he tries to deal with it.
Yeah, it looks like TLO's trying to get up to Ultralisk. Remember, there are quite a few Marauders in this mix anyway.
Ugh.
But yeah, what a mistake. That's really... I mean, that was almost a certain win there for Bomber, and now he's giving TLO a chance.
Well... Poor little Mutalist gets caught out. There's not that many
23 Banelings. A good fight here with those 23 Banelings.
Could
it's
work.
A different game.
A few did get killed off by that Widow Mine up to the north, and he's going to pressure this 4th base once again. Where are the Mutalists? Everything needs to be back here to try and deal with this. Some Widow Mines get detonated by just a few circlings, so not the most amazing connections there for them. The Banelings roll on forwards. This Marine's force at the back, though, it's so well protected against Banelings.
Yeah, Bombers.
Burrow Banelings! Oh, 2 were there. They didn't really get the most amazing detonation, but Shield's chasing it down. Little TLO is going to be able to kill this off. The Banelings get the connections with the Marines again. TLO is somehow killing this off. Yeah, he's killing this off. The supply's equal once again, and he continues to hold on. He didn't lose the hatchery, the most important part. Uh-oh. Is this... There's no... Wait, he needs an overstay. Okay, he morphs it in. Yeah. Bomber. Really, this is starting to get a little bit intense here. He's still at a big supply lead. He's got a new army to come across soon. Oh, that was a good shot. What's the Mulelist count at now? Is it still roughly 20? 20, yeah, 22. Still 22. That's still very, very good here. They have +2 attack, I think. Banelings, no, don't waste yourselves. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, anyway. Ideally not Banelings there would have been nice. So here's the next concern for TLO. Don't let the 5th base get mined from. Yes. Ideally, Bomber in the same situation is like, oh my god, I need that 5th. He's going to send his whole army over there. 15 more Banelings coming in. Plenty of Widow Mines as well to defend against that, so he does spot it, obviously. I definitely don't think TLO should go Ultras in this game. Just get 3 upgrades if he finds the room and the money. Yeah. Is probably nice, but even that's a big stretch, because that's a lot of investment for a low economy game, which this is, where really he could just use more Banelings. This is really well defended here by Bomber. There's a lot of Widow Mines, but he's going to try and go in with the Banelings. There's too much bio. He can't really contest this. He sent some Zerglings to get some workers, though. The Mutalisks. Oh, no. Oh, God. He lost a lot of Mutalisks in that. 10 Mutalisks went down. Remember, there's still mules. It's not all about SCVs. And TLO just saying, I can't let you take this base. GG. Bomber takes it 2-2. Bomber takes the base. Bomber takes the game. Wow. What a chain of events. I am completely bemused by what we saw there. Bomber had that by the scruff of the neck. And then, whee! And there is the Brazilian audience. Great to see so many people come out here. But yeah, game 5. Giving us heart attacks here because TLO is playing with fire in some games. Bomber's capable of huge mistakes like that one we just saw. And I think Shake of Head there was saying, well, and TLO, a bit of a grin, saying, wow, I could have actually won that. But then again, let's just go back to the biggest problem in that game was through the middle. Like, he just didn't think about it. And it's not something you really do think about.
Terran players don't go straight through the middle to the heart of the Zerg. It's more like, you know, expanding or going towards the expansion. But, whew.
What a game. What a game. What a series so far. And now we go onto a final map to decide it. Ultrazim Stronghold. Oh boy, what a map to decide it, Sean. This is really down to the wire. And
yeah,
it's on the biggest map we've seen in a long time.
So, yeah, we're going now to the 5th map. This is a map that neither of them chose. It was the last map that was just left in the map pool after the vetoes and the map selection. And this is ideally, and I'm saying this again from having spoken to TLO last night over dinner. It was a wine dinner, cheeky glass of wine with the dinner. I said, what do you think he's going to veto? Do you think it's Daedalus or is it Altazim?
Yeah.
And he said, Altazim or Daedalus. And it was Daedalus that actually mapped that he vetoed out.
Yeah.
But it's, Altazim was probably the, if Bomber had 2 vetoes, Altazim was the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't want to play on such a large map as such an aggressive player. Look at that game there. That was just exactly how Bomber plays and wins games. 3 base, take a 4th when necessary, but 3 base in between the 15-minute and 20-minute mark. And if you think about that coming onto this map, which is huge, all TLO needs to do is say, all right, let's play defensive. Let's exploit this huge map. Let's get those counterattacks in. Let's get that creep spread out there. Let me see this attack come in from a mile off. And let's prepare for that 15 to 20-minute game. But to come back to a question you asked, are we going to see TLO be aggressive? I don't think so. No. I think that he's probably confident enough in his own play that he could beat Bomber in a heads-up game, especially on a map which is this big. I don't think he'd risk it. Yeah,
just straight to the macro, straight, really trying to control your map, your side of the map. And the cool thing for a Zerg on Altazim Altar is, yes, it's very big. Yes, it takes a while to spread creep, but because it's so open and so like flat the whole way through the middle, it can be very easy to spread creep.
So if he does focus on creep spread in the middle of the map, because it is open, as you say, flanks and all of that kind of nonsense can be utilized here.
Oh, yes.
Massive flanks, you know, excess borrowed banelings because you're not going to scan all the way across. Just lots of different things to utilize. Bomber really needs, in this game, if he wants to go into the semifinals, he needs to make mistakes, he needs to play as solid as possible, and he needs to be able to just identify this as a big, big map. Not throw everything into 3 bases, think about the 4th, think about the 5th, think about a long-term game. And we're not saying that Bomber can't play long-term, but his playstyle is usually around 3 bases, 15 to 20-minute go. But on this big map, he has to identify that that won't be as good as it would be on a smaller, more regular map.
All right, we're loading into game number 5. We have the remaining foreign hope for the entire weekend remaining here. 1 map away from advancing on to the round of 4. Will he be able to do it? Spawning up to the top right, it's Liquid TLO. And down to the south as our Red Terran. Representing Red Bull, previously of StarTale, it's Bomber. Oh, this is going to be good, Sean. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is going to be really intense. This last game now, everything's on the line. This is a quarterfinal finish, or the opportunity to move through into the semis to look at potentially the final. You get the $1,000 increase from being top 8 to top 4. You get the extra 125 WCS points, and you also play a best of 5 to qualify not only for the finals of this tournament, but the 100,000 winner-takes-all tournament that will be held in the World Championship Finals of the Intel Extreme Masters in Katowice in Poland. There is a lot on line here between these 2 players, but to go back to their strategies, big map, TLO's going to be hatchery first, he's going to be playing gasless, it'll be queens. We shouldn't see aggression, it's not going to work on a map this big, it's not going to work when Bomber's second base is tucked away, and it's not like TLO can break up that small ramp. And TLO is going to take his expansion down here. And this is smart. The reason why, where would you usually take your natural as a Zerg? Back there, defensively, right? But what happens if you take it out in the open? Yes, it's a little bit more dangerous, obviously being out in the open, but you start your creep spread earlier. And starting your creep spread earlier is what we identified is going to be a big point to focus on in this game, because he's going to have his queen start producing creep from here rather than producing creep back at home. And even that, he's gone 3 hatch before spawning pool here. Big greed here coming out from TLO. Perfect in every way. Perfect in every way. Great start for him when it comes to his build order.
Yeah, Bomber's going to end up spotting his opponent pretty quickly. And he did go barracks first, so technically I think he probably could get over there. And if he sees that, then maybe he'll start a bunker and rally a Marine over. But it would be kind of risky. Kind of risky indeed. So he's going to finish his wall off. Bomber is taking no chances here. No chances whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, because it's such a large map, even though he's scouting in the right direction, even if he sees it, it's too late to really rally the Marine over. It's too late.
Yep.
So from this position, we're going to see a super economy focused game. And these are the best type of games for me. I love these type of games.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with a good old mix of aggression that we've seen throughout the series. What we're going to see from Bomber is a third command center, no doubt in my mind. And upon seeing these hatcheries, he may even not use the gas. I wonder if he uses the gas, because he absolutely, you can't really punish this. He's going to try maybe.
Maybe.
I was expecting Bomber to be like, all right, he's gone through hatch. He sees the creep there, he knows this is what it is. But with another barracks coming in and no third command center yet, obviously without a third command center and adding on extra barracks away from a third command center is dedicating a lot of resources away from his economy. And this is not how I thought Bomber would actually go into this last map.
Yeah.
On the last deciding map, he's gonna try to go for like a combat shield, a stim timing, a timing overall. TLO is gonna have an almost impossible, if not impossible, time scouting this.
Exactly. Because it's so hard to get a second overlord to this left-hand side.
He can't get a second
It's
overlord.
impossible.
There's one overlord, and there are Marines protecting Bomber's base. Bomber, is this gonna be the move that is the difference between a quarterfinal finish and a semi-final? Is this going to be the move that TLO is caught with his pants down because he doesn't have Zergling speed ready, he doesn't have Banelings ready, he doesn't have any units out there? Is this going to be the move that puts Bomber into the semis?
It may be. It may be. A factory's going to go down with this as well.
It's, by the looks of it, it can be a lot of different things from this position. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of units pushed out. That's the main focus. It's going to be a timing. The timing could be different. It can be Hellions and Marines if he switches over the factory. It could be for a fast medivac to join this as well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different angles he can go here. TLO's going to try to get in. Where's the Marine to push this out?
Exactly. There's no way that this Overlord can ever get the proper information it needs, especially if Bomber brings down every single Marine.
No, he can't. He was like, all right, maybe I can go in. No, I guess I can't.
Oop.
Lings at the front.
They see a barracks.
This is the barracks. That's so big. That's a mistake from Bomber. That's so big. That's a mistake. The barracks should have been one supply, not one pick, like one pixel back.
Yeah, one
He's
little
seen another.
spot.
He's seen two barracks. Bane Nexus started. That is a huge mistake. That shouldn't have been visible from the ramp. TLO spotted it, even though he shouldn't have been able to.
Wow.
This is massive. This is really, really big. Combat shields is down. Hellions are on the way. But TLO spot. He's got great creep spread. He's going to start link production soon as Zergling speed's ready. He knows it's coming.
This is big here. This is really big. Can Bomber now try and do this regardless of it being spotted? He's going to have Hellions with it as well. So there's a lot of firepower with this army that we're seeing from Bomber.
What's the counter units here? The drones.
We have 49.
Perfect. Doesn't want any more from this position. It should be link production. He's spotted the extra barracks.
Triple Queen injections across all this is going to have a lot of units.
There's the Lings coming. The Lings are coming.
The creep spread here is going to buy him a little bit of time. He just
more
needs
Lings
to push those
scouting.
away.
TLO's gone. TLO sees the army. He sees the army. He even sees it on the ramp. That's the perfect time because it is the largest amount of reaction time that TLO can get. Here come the Spines. Here come the Banelings. All TLO needs to do right now, Claris, deflect this, and he will have a good 3 to 4 minutes to do whatever he wants in this game. Double evolution chamber, Spire, fourth base, whatever. All he's got to do is deflect it.
He's going back. He's going home with this. He's actually not going to go. This just
Bomber's
it doesn't
pulled
pay
back.
for itself at all.
Bomber's pulled back saying, crap, I've been spotted. From this position with the layer done, TLO actually should be still sending a Ling or two down to see whether this is coming.
Always seeing.
But another thing he needs to do is morph an Overseer with probably one of these Overlords outside of Bomber's base to go in and find out what's going on. TLO is like, where is this attack?
If he just sends
He's
his
got
Overlord
Evolution
down.
Chambers and Spire coming in.
He's checking the third location, which is really smart here by TLO, but he just needs to go down.
That's going to be creep spread. The other Overlord should be an Overseer, unless he really wants to save gas at this point. But still, this attack isn't going to go on. And Bomber, who threw in a lot of resources away from that third command center's economy, has a large army that he can't use.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to lose it to TLO, who's ready and waiting.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, TLO, yes, he threw 2 spike calls down, but his economy was always better before all of this anyway than Bomber. Bomber had to do a little bit of damage to keep himself level pegging. And now, you know, TLO, he's blocking off that 3rd base. It's not going to be taken for a little while here. Because, well, Bomber does actually see the creep spread, so he can go down there pretty quickly. That's one of the advantages of that 3rd base being a little bit closer.
Yeah, and at this point, actually, I see a mistake from TLO. On his back base in the 3rd, it's actually not fully saturated. You'll want to do that now. It's only, as you can see, 10 out of 24. You'll want at least 16 to 18 drones there. He's going to see Bomber fall back to take the 3rd now. This is ideally where the creep spread should continue on. You've seen all those GIFs, you've seen all those pictures on Reddit about TLO's creep spread. This is the time he needs to put it into practice. He also should want to take a 4th base, but Bomber from this position can't really do anything until Stim is done, because he got combat shields first, remember? Until 1-1 is done and medivacs are properly out, he can't do anything.
The Hellions haven't paid for themselves at all.
And it's so funny, the tab you just brought up, look how many units have actually been lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like nothing. But this game has been so deep, it's been so strategic from the get-go, yet we've seen no deaths at all. And it's just so back and forth already between the 2 players without any death. It's been a fantastic game here.
Yeah, and we have now the Mutalists going to be able to swing in for TLO very soon into production. I mean, nothing has been disrupted in terms of the economy for TLO at all. So this Mutalist count will go uncontested for a little while. Of course, Bomber's going to move out here, but he can't stick around on creep. It's going to take him a while to clean that up before he can even get to the 3rd.
Yeah, bailing speed about to complete. Ideal timing there. But Bomber, Stim is done. 1-1 ideally would like to finish with this. And he is looking to see if there's a 4th. He's like, oh, I thought he would have had a 4th by now. It's a little bit slow, a little bit defensive. Oh, counterattack here by Mutalists. I don't know how many SCVs they got there. 4. That's not bad.
There's only 1 missile turret there.
But he's got to be careful, obviously, on his 3rds. That's the most important part, is not to lose to this army. 1-1's done, Bailing speed's done.
Got a few of those kills with the Banelings there. They will roll on forwards again. Not doing too badly for themselves, but that's such a big army here that TLO has. I mean, army supply 79 to 75. Bomber has to retreat out. The Zerglings are actually going to go and be aggressive. He gets the full wraparound. He's going to kill off so much of this. TLO with a great execution. The creep helped him out so much. And Bomber is on the ropes. He has to defend relentlessly here.
Yeah, TLO's going for the kill here, Claris. There's no bunker down there. He's got units. He's killed off a large chunk. I imagine it's going to be a huge morph of Bailings from this position with the gas. He's got a huge morph, as I say. He morphs 2 Bailings, 4 Bailings, and a few more when he gets more gas. But he's going to come in here.
When he has one of the Widow Mines there.
There's the clamp.
And it doesn't really get too much out. All the Circlings wrap around. Bailings connect with quite a bit, but there is a lot of Marines still available to him. But it doesn't matter. TLO right now with the army supply looks to take Bomber out here in the round of 8. And now just completely ransacking this 3rd base.
Dies.
Oh,
he's
TLO.
not going to focus on it, but he's kept his opponent away. From this point, you just keep your opponent inside his main base. You don't need to do anything more. You've stopped him from mining.
As long as
Look at the supply. There's the drone for the 4th. He's going to go take his 4th. He can do whatever he wants from this position, throw down the infestation pit, look to tech up further, continue harassment. The main goal now is to keep Bomber away from his 3rd, and TLO could be looking at a semi-final position.
He actually needs to keep that turret alive so badly, but he's losing a lot of workers in the process anyway. 23 have already died during this game. He's at 68 workers to 39. TLO here against Bomber is in a massive lead, and he's going to kill off that turret as well. So this base can't mine either. Wow. GG! Oh, TLO looking very happy with that as he advances on to the round of 4 here at the Intel Extreme Masters Sao Paulo. The one remaining foreign hope here looking...
Look at that swagger.
Wow.
Look at that swagger. TLO has beaten Bomber in the quarterfinals. A game that he wasn't too sure he could win, but he went in confident, he held his head high, and he's done it, and he is loving this right now. It's like he's won the tournament.
Exactly.
It's like he's won the tournament.
Beating Bomber here in the round of 8. A fantastic accomplishment here for TLO, and now he advances on to the round of 4. What a performance by the German. What a performance.
Fantastic performance from TLO, and he lands himself in the semi-finals. $2,000 WCS points, and of course, an opportunity to go further on in this tournament. A lot of momentum behind him right now, as of course, if you didn't know already, TLO would have to face off against the reigning Intel Extreme Masters champion, the winner from Singapore, CJ Hero, in the semi-finals. That will be coming later on, of course. There are other semi-finals to play out first. The first one, of course, MC versus Jack G, but it is TLO that goes the distance, beating out Bomber, who I think everybody expected to be the one to win it.
Yeah, we thought maybe it was going to be another 3-0, but no, did TLO prove us wrong. It's hard to even hear what's going on because it was so loud at the end of that. Yeah. But now, guys, that does it for our round of 8. We know our top 4 spots here, challenging for those top 2 spots.
Yeah, that's a fantastic performance from TLO, and it's great to see the Brazilian audience out there as well supporting him. And not just supporting him, but supporting the tournament here at the Intel Extreme Masters. But this is where it really does start to heat up. TLO's broken 1 impressive barrier, but he's got a couple more to go. That means we only have 3 games remaining here at the Intel Extreme Masters. 2 semifinals and the final. As mentioned, MC will be going up against Jack G next on the main stage. MC, who's been performing very well recently, is looking in great shape up against Jack G, who's looking to conquer as well a lot this year in 2014. Yeah. And then, of course, for a lot of people at home, the highlight match will be TLO versus CJ Hero. And we've seen what Hero can do, whether it be in Pro League, whether it be in the GSL, whether it be in the WCS this year, last year, the year before that, is he's been around for a long time. The next couple of games are going to be good. Certainly so.
Hero always performs well, be it the qualifiers at the Intel Extreme Masters or the main tournament itself. So he's looking for back-to-back Intel Extreme Masters titles, which is absolutely massive if he's able to do something like that.
Yeah, and from what I'm being told, we will be having a winner's interview with TLO on the main stage in a couple of moments' time, as Red Eye and TLO collecting their thoughts on the front stage. But I can't wait to hear what TLO's thoughts are. The preparation coming into this,
if we can hear,
the dinner and wine last night. The dinner and wine last night, and what he really thinks about, the next up against CJ Hero, because it is not going to be easy. But the Sao Paulo, 4 players remain. It's going to be good from here on out.
Certainly is. All right, guys, we're going to go to a short break, and then when we're back, we have our interview with the winner, TLO.
Thank you very much. So both of our casting teams, of course, in Portuguese and in English, joined now by a very victorious TLO. Congratulations on an amazing win. Just explain what's going through your mind right now.
Well, I'm quite happy.
I thought you might be, but just, are you able to sum up what it means to beat such a prestigious player as Bomber in such a high-profile and high-pressured game?
Well, honestly, just being in the booth today, even if I would have lost, was a huge victory for me, because the first time in my life I didn't feel completely nervous when playing, and I felt comfortable, I felt happy, and I was looking forward to play it rather than stressing out. And it worked out in the end.
It really did. Let's go through the game, because I can't pick everything out. I've got a ton of notes here because there are 5 fantastic maps, but go all the way back to map 1. You seem very cool in the booth, very calm, as you've already said. And map 1 could not have gone any more perfect if you'd planned it out in your mind before.
Yeah, it was funny because Paulo and I were talking before yesterday that I need to be careful with combat shield timings and stuff like that. And I told him, well, if he does any 2-base Rex attack like that, I'm going to be totally fine, and scouted it. And it's almost, the build order he does is almost an auto loss if you get scouted, I think. So I'm not sure why he would do that, because he is the favorite, and I think if he played it more safely, like on Heavy Rain, I would have had a harder time. So I got a little bit lucky, but I'm not complaining.
So map 2 went the other way to Bomber. It wasn't all one-sided, but it looked pretty good for him pretty early on. But then map 3, talk to us about map 3, because map 3, in my mind, I was sitting there thinking, is this a build order that he's planned, or is he just doing this as he goes along?
Yeah, I haven't really practiced what I did there. It was a weird beginning. I accidentally made an overload too many at the start, and I wanted to go 14 pool for 2 reasons. If he goes 2 racks at the beginning, I might be able to, defend it more easily, and if he goes CC first, I can get an early edge. So all worked out as planned, except the overlords at his gold base that I lost. But then I got his Marines, so it kind of evened out. I think his main problem was that he was playing too cautiously. He was constantly anticipating an all-in, so he took his 3rd base way later than he should have.
Yeah, you took the gold base second. It was the 2nd base you took, and you were very... Apollo said on the commentary you were almost greedy in the way that you were playing in that game, on the understanding that he was going to play passive, and that worked out perfectly again.
Yeah, basically, I was hoping that he thinks the only way he's going to lose is if I all in, and he's not going to be able to hold it. So I had a little bit of an edge there in the way both of us thought about the game.
You're well known. We know that you play on Frost really well usually, but not quite worked out that way. So then it comes back around again, and we move to map 4. And map 4, your creep spread is impeccable, we think, as it usually is, pretty good. But you leave one little avenue through. Did that sort of hit you when he came through with the army? And were you like, oh, how did I not do that?
No, I think I still had enough time to react to it. It was kind of obvious that he's going to try to go for some pressure at some point. Because his build order initially was to attack me, right? He went for a 2-base build once again, but it got scouted out by that one circling. And if he wouldn't have attacked me either, I think I could have crushed him with a 180 supply timing 2-2 upgrades. So he was kind of on a clock, I think, and broke out in the end.
Yeah, with map 4, it looked like you were on the back foot pretty much from the moment he started attacking you, but you had plenty behind, good economy, you were solid, so you could fight a little bit longer. And then he made what I can only describe as the suicide drop of the year so far. What were you thinking, hang on a minute, I can still win this?
Yeah, when I saw his army move to that base over there, I was kind of hoping, I was thinking in my mind, please show off, please try to show off and do doom drop, so I was parking my mutas over there. But he was just so far ahead in the game that even after that I thought, I'm going to need a lot of things still happening to win. But, you know, it kind of showed that you should stay in a game like that.
No, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people would have quit out a lot earlier than that. Map 5. You're sitting in the booth, it's 2-2, you're playing Bomber, global champion from WCS last year. What goes through your mind before the last map, or are you not even thinking about it?
Well, my thought when I was going into the map, once again, was maybe he's going to think I'm going to all in. So I'll just play as greedy as possible, go 3-3 before. Because Ultisim is a map that if he gets a long game on, I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for me to win. His macro is so good, and Ultisim is not a map I practice a lot. So I was just hoping to go for 3-base, kind of maxed out mutiling, bailing timing to hit his third with some overseers getting the mines. But then he made it easier for me by going a 2-base build.
All right, top 4 guaranteed now. Fantastic result, as you said yesterday to me. If I get in semi-finals, it's good, but it's not enough for Dario, is it, this year?
No, definitely not. I mean, it's a good start, but, you know, let's not be lazy now.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, TLO. We're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we will get the semi-finals underway for the Intel Extreme Masters. Don't go too far away. It's MC versus Jack G next.